Good morning, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Destiny, and today I'm going to be doing my ship with me / what sold video. I don't know, I feel like I'm going to be a little sweaty doing that, so we'll try it like this. Today I'm going to be shipping out my weekend sales. I've already pulled everything, and these will be items that sold from Thursday evening until today, Monday morning. I generally ship on Friday, but we actually went, I gotta move this. There we go. We actually went to Nashville for the weekend to spend time with family, and I got to go to a regular Goodwill and a Bins. I went to the Bins on Sunday, and that was the craziest experience. I've been to the Nashville Bins before, but not that location. I went to the one on Berry Road, I think. I went to the other one last time. It was very chill. This one was not, but I did get around 62 pounds. Some of that was bags I had to buy because there was not a buggy in sight, but anyway, we're going to get into that. I hope to wash the stuff I need to wash today and then possibly do a haul for you guys. And I did record the video I said I would. I just haven't got it edited yet. So I've pulled everything. I bought all my labels, so we're going to do that format. And the first thing, these sold last night. It is a pair of Rag & Bone jeans, which I know this used to be a huge Bolo brand. And is not anymore, sadly, but I only paid $2 for these at a consignment sale I went to, and I was selling at the consignment sale, and then I got to purchase everything that was left over for $2 from other people. Like, it was just gonna get donated. So anyway, I paid $2 for these, and they sold for $23.12, and within a week or so, I just got these listed. I'm a little behind on listing, like always. I actually had a lot of fun as well at the regular Goodwill. I only had 45 minutes, but I picked up several pairs of shoes I'm excited about. And I also got a couple of clothing items to sell. This is going to St. Petersburg, Florida. Next up, sorry, I just kicked the table. I had a small bundle sale. I already put it in this box. I wanted to see what it fit. It is a pair of gloves, you'll see on the screen, and a pair of earrings. I don't get a lot of bundle sales on eBay, but this lady reached out, and I actually had a Mercari bundle last week. I was shocked about that. But anyway, she reached out and asked if I would combine the shipping if she bought both. And so after I bought my label, I just went ahead and sent her a refund. And the earrings I got for free. Back when Stitch Fix was a big thing, we did that. My aunt, it was cheaper for her to keep everything, but she didn't want the earrings. If you hear my kids crying, their dad is upstairs with them. Anyway, she didn't want the earrings, so those were free to me. And then the gloves came from Boutique by the Box. I got that a long time ago. It was a Madewell J. Crew accessories lot, but I had one pair listed, and they took forever to sell. And then I found this other pair and just recreated my listing, and these sold within a month. So these are going to North Home, Minnesota. The bundle came out to $31.45, but she did use my 12% off coupon. So just so you know, she got it a little cheaper than that, but happy with that sale. This was a good sale. This is an American Giant hoodie. You'll see it on the screen. I wrapped it up because it will not fit in, or it's so heavy. It's already a 3-pound label by itself. It is a men's XL, but if you watched, I did a unboxing of this on my channel. So I have $8 into this from Boutique by the Box, and it sold for an offer sent to me of $55 plus shipping. I did charge $12.99 for shipping, and I'm glad I did because, like I said, it weighed well over 2 pounds, so I had to do a 3-pound label. Thankfully, it's going to New York, so it only cost me like $8. And normally I'd refund on some things, but I'm not going to on this because this is a very heavy hoodie. So if it had gone to California, it definitely would have cost so much. And I said it's going to Albany, New York. I still need to finish listing all of that. Like I said, I'm behind on everything. The next thing is a pair of Olakai shoes. This is like my husband's favorite brand to wear. They used to be a Bolo, but now I think they're just okay. These came from Brit at Brit's Boxes. When I got them listed, they sold in about a month or so. I think in a few weeks, actually. And someone sent me an offer for $21, which I accepted. These are very expensive retail. And they're going to Oceanside, California. Going to the bins was very overwhelming, but a lot of fun. I was sweating because I was carrying around, I found a big metal bowl and I put my stuff in. I was carrying it around like that and just sliding it under the bins as I was shopping. I really wish I had a bins close by the shop like that, but this I went ahead and shoved in here. I'm not going to pull it out. You'll see it on the screen. It is, the brand's called Cozy Casual. I think it's a boutique thing. And I was weighing this to see if I could put it in the box, but it was going to put it over 3 pounds. I think I had to buy a 2-pound label, but the box is going to put it well over 2 pounds. So I just went ahead and put it in here. It is going to Sacramento, California. And it's sold for $21.25, but they did use my 12% off coupons. That came in a thread up 200 pounds, I think last October maybe, or January 2024. It's been listed a while, and I'm glad to see it go because it was hanging in my daughter's closet because it was just too fluffy to go anywhere else. Then we have a pair of men's Skechers. These also came from Brit, and I think I listed these the same day as the Olakais. I did like I had a pile of shoes I needed to get to, so I just listed all of them. These sold for $27.20, but they did use my coupon, so lots of sales with the coupon. We love to see that. And I did not list it all this weekend. I didn't do much except on Sunday. I sent off 30% off offers on Poshmark, which did result in some sales. I sold on eBay, Poshmark, and Depop today, if I didn't say that. These are going to Wilmington, Delaware. Next is something, you'll see the picture on the screen. I have had these since the beginning of time, I think. It was when I first started reselling. We moved into this house like 5 years ago, and as you can see, it's on my carpet that I think was it's our upstairs carpet, and I only took photos like that when we first moved in. So this has been listed a long time. When I first started reselling, anything Free People, was a big deal. And so I bought some stuff off Poshmark. I think I sold everything else, but these would just not go because they're low-rise, skinny jeans, and now low-rise is a little more popular, but anyway, they sold for $15.30. They did use my coupon. They're going to Augusta, Maine. And honestly, I don't remember how much I had into them. I would say I'm not making very much on that sale. All right, we have a few more eBays here. This sold really fast. This is the brand We Rate Dogs. It's like a charity thing. So this was actually like a Gildan or something branded sweatshirt, but it says, "Tell your dog I say hi" on the front. And someone offered me $14.50 for this. And this came in my thread up 200 pounds from September. So like I said, sold pretty fast. It did have some washwear. These retail for $65 on their website, but I think some of that goes to charity. But anyway, it's going to Murraysville, Pennsylvania. I think that's how you would say that. But yeah, that sold pretty quick. I figured someone would want it because it was really cute. Sad day. These are, oh, here they are. I've sold so many of these now. This men's Prana from Helpsy Source. And I think this is my last pair of these. They're the double peak e-waist shorts, which just means they have elastic waist. And these sold for $28.18. I had $6.76 into them from Helpsy. And they're going to Pembroke Pines, Florida. I have plenty of Prana stuff left. Not plenty, but quite a bit left. I don't like to say it that way. I have some left. And then I have like 8 pieces I need to list of the men's stuff that I think would sell quick. But here's one problem. When my sister helped me, we didn't get into it deep, but she helped me organize some of this stuff. Not this time, but the time before. And I don't know where she put those Prana pieces, but I'll find them. So, anyway. All right, last eBay sale. This sold like right after we left, and I felt bad about it on Thursday. We spent Thursday. We drove to Nashville in the afternoon. It's about a 4-hour drive. And this is a DKNY blazer that came from a thread up 200 pounds. Anyway, Sorry. We spent a 4-hour drive. Went and had dinner with my grandma. And the next day we spent the day with her because she was going to Florida on Saturday. So we went to do some walking. We went and ate Mexican food. We had some ice cream. We went and played at the park they have there. If you've ever heard of Red Caboose Park. We had some coffee. Then I went to Goodwill to kill some time. And we went to my aunt and uncle's house for dinner. So then Saturday we did the zoo almost all day. The Nashville Zoo. It's a great zoo. And then I went to my husband's aunt. We went to her house because she also lives in Nashville. And then Sunday I went to the bins. So been a full weekend and I am exhausted. This sold for $25.50. They did use my coupon, and it's going to North Syracuse, New York. Now, like I said, that blazer had been listed. It was from a thread up 200 pounds, but it's been listed quite a little while. So, all right, we'll hop over to Depop real quick. So I have 3 sales. I had several offers this weekend, but only 3 paid. This is a Zara dress in a size large, and it sold for $19.13. I don't think that was an offer sent to me, or maybe it was. Actually, I do think it was. It was a random offer, but I had $3.40 into this. Zara is very hit or miss for me. It came from a Facebook group I used to be a part of. I bought a big lot of just random mall brands from this girl, and everything was $3.40. Actually did pretty well. This is going to Meridian, Idaho. And it had been listed probably over a year at this point. Next up, these are from Helpsy Source. So one day I was buying something. Maybe it was the American Giant stuff. I don't remember. No, that was Boutique by the Box. I don't remember what I was buying from Helpsy, but sometimes they'll be like, hey, if you want to add this on, we won't charge you shipping for it. So cool. So I got these. There was like a lot of 5 Katy Perry shoes. These are, you'll see them on screen, they're like just a flat thong sandal. And on that occasion, it was like I think it was going to be $40, and they let me use my coupon. I have an affiliate code with them. It's in the description, but they let me use that myself. And so it was like $36 for 5 pairs of new in the box Katy Perry shoes. And I've sold, I believe, 2 pairs so far. These sold for an offer sent to me of like, okay, why did it? $14. This pair was not worth a ton, so it's okay though. I think we're doing all right with it. And they're going to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Our last Depop sale, pair of Birkenstocks. They're a little bit, you can kind of tell they're used, but if you wear Birkenstocks, you know that's not a big deal. That happens fairly quickly. It's just the leather breaking in, cork and stuff. These were actually a women's 4 though, so they're, oops, my phone's dying. Kind of a small size. But I listed them anyway, not super high. Someone offered me $18. So I did go ahead and accept that on Depop. Because I had them listed at $30, but they were on a sale I was running and, you know, all that. So that's fine. I think the train's coming, so if you hear that, sorry about that. All right, now let's move over to Poshmark, which by Sunday morning, I only had 2 or 3 sales. So I'm so glad it ended up coming around. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my, yeah, the train's definitely coming, so sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my sold stuff over here so I can kind of see where stuff came from. All right, first up we have this Chico's top. This was a modal blend. It's just like a button front black shirt, and it came from my thread up 200 pounds in July. Now I gotta go back to Poshmark, and it sold for $20 with discounted shipping, I believe. And yes, I still offer discounted shipping. I can understand why people don't. I still do, though. This one's going to East Sandwich, Massachusetts. These sold pretty fast. They're a pair of Bowden sneakers. I thought they were really fun with like this embroidered chevron. It was called like a chevron print or something. These actually I got at Carm, which is a local thrift store, and I paid $12.99 for these. So maybe paid up a little too much, but they did sell. I listed them the same day as like those Olokai and Skechers sneakers, I think. Hasn't been that long. And they sold for $32 with discount shipping, so I pretty much doubled my money in just a couple days. I didn't have to clean these. I just had to take the price off the bottom. So, and they're going to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Hopefully she loves it. I need to order some more mailers of that size soon, and maybe some bigger ones. These are a pair of Loft faux leather lined pants. These definitely came in a Threada. No, these came from Rachel at Wholesale Thrift. I have happy inventory on there because that's where my invoice comes from. But she sends me bread and butter stuff sometimes if I'm getting a little low. I haven't ordered from her in a little bit, not because I don't want to, but I've just had so much with the thread up and everything. But these sold for $15 with discounted shipping, and I think, whoops, if I'm hitting that microphone, sorry. These, what was I going to say? Anyway, they're going to Glenpool, Oklahoma. That was the 30% off. That's what I was going to say. Next, I actually have something that's going to a viewer, which is exciting because I don't ever get viewer sales. Not ever, but not usually. This is going to, I know her username, but I just want to say her first name. Christine. So thank you, Christine. She bought this Everlane beanie. It's a wool cashmere blend, and I have a bunch of these from Boutique by the Box a while ago. So I'm so happy she is getting this and taking it off my hands. So thank you. And she got it for $11 with discounted shipping. So a good deal, I hope, for her, and a good deal for me. Because she's a viewer, I'm not going to tell you the city it's going to, but it is going to New Jersey. All right, next I had a bundle on Poshmark, and I just kind of put it in the same thing. So this is a Windsor skirt, like a maxi skirt. It was really pretty. I just listed this before we left. And then a Coldwater Creek belt. That came in my Thread Up Fun box, and the Windsor skirt was in my September Thread Up 200 pounds. The bundle came out to $50, and the person offered me $25, which does sound low. But at that point, I'd had very few Poshmark sales. And honestly, the Coldwater Creek belt, it was really cute, but it did have a couple flaws. And then the skirt is just Windsor. It's a mall brand that retails kind of mid, but it's not the best quality, honestly. So I was happy to move these along. It's going to Dougspur, Virginia, or Dougspur. I don't know. Either way, I'm probably saying it wrong. Next, we have this little airy bralette. And in my SKU, where I usually write where I got stuff, I have question marks. So I didn't know then, and I don't know now. I really don't know where this came from, but it sold for $9 with discounted shipping. So I remember photographing it, but I do not remember at all where it came from. So, if you're interested in mailers, I do have a code in the description for Shipping Hip. I also buy them, like the plain blue ones I get on Amazon. These ones are from Packagement. I think someone suggested I try Magic mailers, so I might order some from them next time I need colored mailers. That's going to Corsicana, Texas. This sold pretty fast. This is a Baby Bowden jacket. It's like a little teddy bear. You'll see it in the picture. It's so cute. This was actually something I bought off Poshmark, and my 4-year-old wore it for a while. Then my nephew wore it. It's a size 6 to 12 months. And then my other nephew wore it, and my other son wore it. So like 4 kids, after I bought it secondhand, wore this. My other nephew doesn't need a coat, my sister-in-law said. So I went ahead and listed this, and it sold for $10 with discounted shipping. So not amazing, but it's going to a new home, and it's going to St. Louis, Missouri. And hopefully that child gets a lot of use out of it as well. It was not in perfect condition, obviously, after all those kids. So sorry, those kids are screaming upstairs. Next, I have like 3 sales left. Next, this is a bra by the brand Glamorize. This came from Brit. It's just like it doesn't have any wire. It's not lined. It's just like I don't know, a regular bra, I guess. But it sold, I think someone sent me an offer on this. Yes, for $18. It was a size 50B, which I feel like is very specific sizing. So hopefully the person loves it. It's going to Santa Cruz, California. All right, then this sold really fast. I went to Goodwill last week before we left. I think it was Sunday, last Sunday. So not yesterday, but the Sunday before that. And this sold, I paid $4.53 average cost of goods. It's just 100% linen button front shirt from Lucky Brand. I almost didn't get it, but this is actually the only thing I had in my cart for a while. And so it sold for full price for $30. It was a men's extra large. So I was excited about that because that means I make a $20 profit really fast after my cost of goods and fees. It's going to Brooklyn. All right, the last thing, this was kind of interesting. So this is a pair of Coach black boots, and they do have some wear to them, like some scuffing on the toes. And then this little buckle right here is coming off the leather. So the lady reached out and she's like, I'm sending kind of a low offer because, you know, I'm going to have to get this fixed and that kind of stuff, which I totally understand. So anyway, like I said, some scuffing on the toe, but they are really nice filling leather boots, and they are the brand Coach. They're called the Joelle leather boots. So she sent me an offer of $15, and I've had these listed a while. They came in a thread-up shoebox. So I was happy, actually. I didn't really care that it was a low offer. I try not to get offended too much by low offers. Not to say that I don't decline offers, because I totally do. If I feel like the person and I are if I've just listed something, someone sends me like a really kind of low offer, I will decline. I'm actually not big on countering. I usually just accept or decline, depending. Like if we're pretty close, if I would accept 20 and they send me 18, of course I'm just going to accept. I'm not going to counter. There are times I do counter, but more often than not, either I'm like, you know what, that's close enough to what I wanted, or we're not anywhere near each other, so I'm just going to decline that offer. Sorry about the tape sounds. All right, this was the last package, and it's going to Terrell, Texas. So I hope she likes those boots. They are really nice boots. The quality feels nice. I hope you guys had good weekend sales. Like I said, this was from Thursday afternoon until this morning, which I don't think I've had any sales this morning. I think the loft things sold last. So, and those were in the middle of the night. But that's everything. I'm going to go enjoy some lunch, and then I hope to have a bins haul out for you all this week, as well as I'm going to finish editing the update video. So I hope you have a good one. Bye.